Okay, so there's 3 of you on this morning. Woohoo! So I changed the recording or the call date for this morning just because tomorrow morning Kristin is doing the org-wide fall launch. So I'm going to post more info about that today in our page just to make sure. And the lovely Vicky who just hopped on was the one that reminded me of it. So otherwise we would have had to completely like reschedule the entire call. Otherwise, but let me just write a few things down real quick.
Yeah, can't hear her yet.
I finally
Can't
uploaded
hear the audio.
Steven's host coaching. Did everybody see that? Yeah? Okay. Charlie, you're going to be my go-to because you're the only one with video. So if I ask a question, just nod your head. Okay, Vicky says yes. So yes, I am actually going to go through. So I printed his host coaching off. It's like 40 pages long, you guys. Oh my gosh. But his is all set to like a different schedule than what our typical parties are. So I figured what I would do is I would spend some time today going in and kind of like redoing it in like our format. Because I know a lot of us, we're all pretty much doing the same like Wednesday through Saturday or whatever. I think we all are. But his parties are 6-day parties, and he does 2 days of pre-party with 4 days of actual party, which is almost similar to ours. We do like 3 days of pre-party, which I might even switch that up too. But yeah, so that's what I will be doing today. I plan to go through all of his stuff and revamp it a little bit and make it a lot easier for our new people and everybody coming on to see, especially if we're going to be training them on our template as far as like time frame of parties. It'll be super helpful to have it more on our time frame. So today I kind of wanted to talk about a few things. You guys are doing amazing as far as like sending me screenshots and the opportunities and bookings. I think you guys are just kicking butt with bookings. You guys are stepping out of your comfort zones and I love it. I think actually we have Laura is your new team member signing up today, I think, right?
Yes, that's the plan. It's payday. So she's already created a business page, I think, yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
So you guys, this girl is like going to be a rock star because she hasn't even signed up yet. She has Facebook stalked me and added me on Facebook. She's sent me a message and she's like super excited, and man, I'm really excited for you, Laura. I think this is
I know. I'm really excited about her. I think she's gonna do amazing. She has that drive and she really wants it. So
well, but let me ask you this, with your discussions with her and everything going on, like how did your discussion with her go as far as joining the business?
Well, the weird part is I kind of casually mentioned, I think, months ago, and not really anything. And I think she's done other previously trick selling businesses, and then a couple months ago, in July sometime, it wasn't it feels like 2 months ago. She just casually wrote to me. I thought things have been flying. She casually just wrote to me, and that's when we started talking. And then when I came back from conference. It was about money. Then I told her that she'd get all her money back for her kid, and then all of a sudden, even with her husband, it was a go.
Yeah. So I love that it's been a conversation for a while, and it just keeps like you keep bringing it up, because sometimes when we get that no, we get discouraged, and we're just like, okay, well, they don't want it, and so we just kind of put them off. But do you keep a list of the people who you've talked to about the business?
No, not really. I mean, because I know you said it's a goal for us to go, ask like 100 people this month. I've only done a couple right now because I told you I was just focused on my bookings.
Yeah.
I still got more to go, but I mean, it's going pretty well. It's my only role, but I'm still going to. I mean, it's just, I will be writing them. Yeah, I'll actually, because you want 100, put a box or do something where you're, someone's name or something. So yeah, I need to get a little more with that. But I think like I said, it's been so driven on just those, give my August. I got to do it. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But so what I love about everything that you just said is that you know that you need to ask, but you also know that you have to have the bookings in front of you for the audience to ask. So focusing on bookings before focusing on recruiting is totally fine, because you have to have the bookings in order to have the audience. So I know sometimes we feel like, oh my gosh, Danny says we have to do this, Danny says we have to do that. Like, let's all go do everything that she says. But just know that it's okay, because you have to focus on your personal business first. So if you need the bookings, then do the bookings first. Get all the bookings that you want, get all the bookings that you need, because that is when it's going to be easier. Like Steven said on our call the other day, like, he's able to ask all these people because he has all these parties. He has the audience. So I love that you said that you need to focus on bookings first, because 100% that is what we have to do first and foremost is bookings. Because
then that's the people you can reach out to. So, and lot of new group of people that I can actually reach out to. So that's kind of my plan.
Perfect. I love it. So with that, I kind of wanted to touch a little bit about systems and time management. And as a sneak peek, I actually asked Kristin, our wonderful and fearless leader of our organization. She's actually going to come on next week when she comes back from camping, and she's going to have a call with us, like our entire team, kind of like we did with Steve, but it's going to focus more on like time management and systems, because she is like the queen of all of those things. I hope you guys can hear me. My computer just told me my internet is unstable. Okay. Just popped up. Your internet is unstable. So if something happens, either message me or chat bar, be like, hey, we can't hear you.
You keep freezing.
So am I breaking up a little bit?
Like you're like, I can hear you talking, but your face doesn't match. Like watching a Japanese movie.
Well, as long as you can hear me, that's perfect. That's funny. Japanese movie. Okay, so with systems and time management, this is something I used to struggle with, and it seems silly to me because I'm like, I'm totally fine. I'm doing all the things, but my problem always was that I was doing all of the things, but I was trying to do them all at once instead of like chunking out time for the things. And so one thing that Kristin did teach me is like to get a calendar book or like a daily planner. And I know some of you have probably heard me say this already because you've been on calls where I've mentioned this as well. But for me, I won't say it's easier because I'm home with my kids and I have all the time during the day to like chunk out and do these things, because really I don't. My kids require a lot of attention. But when we chunk it out into time and we like tell ourselves, okay, from 5 to 6, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to be strictly booking messages, or from 6 to 6:30, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to check all my messages and respond to people, or I'm going to sit down at this time and go over my parties and do this. Like if we set aside the time each day, or even like on the dailies, just deciding, okay, on Tuesday, I'm going to send my friend requests. On Wednesday, I'm going to send out my booking messages or send out my building relationship messages. And then go from there. Like I have a calendar, one of those flat calendars on my desk right in front of us. And I literally write stuff down on this where like I have our Saturday meetings written down. I've got like the hashtags that I want to start doing in our team pages. I've got like, I'll randomly write down if I'm talking to someone and they're like, okay, check back with me on this date. Then I go and I write it down. It's just so much easier because when I'm at my computer working, I can go back and look at all of my stuff that's sitting here and it's planned out, it's written out, it's all of this stuff. And I don't have to try to remember it, because when I first started, I struggled with thinking that I'm like that waiter who can remember your order. And then next thing you know, you come back and you have onions on something that you asked to not have onions on, right? So I find it so much better to write things down, keep papers, keep trackers, keep everything. And in the beginning, I did write everything down. And my friend Bonnie, who is my assistant, she actually totally got me hooked on Google Sheets. So if you guys don't do Google Sheets, I will share my template. But I track all my parties, and I feel like I've showed you guys this before, but let me go ahead and bring it up again, just so I can show you a little bit. Okay, can you guys see this? Yeah, okay. So this is literally what my tracker looks like for my parties. It's super basic. I don't have a lot of information on here. I literally have the guest list. When people win like the early bird raffle, the Thursday raffle, games, or any type of anything, I have it right here so that at the end of the party, it's super easy for me to go back here and be like, this person won this. If they've ordered, I go and add it on. If they haven't ordered, I send them a message and be like, hey, so I'd love to get you your gift. Like if you haven't already talked to them during the party, or maybe you have and the conversation really didn't go where you wanted it to, you can bring this up again and be like, hey, I'd love to get your gift in the mail. And then you could try upgrading the gift for a booking and just be like, I'd love to upgrade your gift if you'd like to host a party, obviously in different words. I can help with words, but off the top of my head, it's too early. So you could do an upgraded gift to get a booking, or just keep them chatting, make sure that you're Facebook friends. To track the early bird winner, I come in here and I just put an X in the box if they've commented going, if they've placed an order, if they booked a party. I send everybody friend requests now, not just the active people. So anybody who's joined the party, I am sending friend requests, because for the longest time, I was in my own head and I said, if they're not participating in the party, they're not going to be interested. And that was a shame on me, because just the other day I'm like, I should really go back to doing that, because I did that in the beginning, you guys. I friend requested everybody. I got Facebook jailed multiple times, so do it slowly. If you have like a guest list of 30 or 40, do 10 friend requests and then come back an hour later and do another 10. But I'm tracking all of that, because the minute they accept my friend request, I will be sending them a message asking them how they're enjoying the party, which is usually around Thursday-ish, 1-2 days into the party, just so I'm not like right off the bat catching them and they're like, well, it's day one of the party. What do you mean, am I enjoying it? So I track that. And actually just last week on one of the parties that I decided to get out of my own head and just friend request everybody, I booked 2 parties from people who didn't participate at all in the party. So I highly suggest doing that. When I have my assistant do my booking messages, like I'll have her send out the, hey, are you enjoying the party? She'll come in here and she'll mark down who she sent a message to, just so I know that I can go back to them and check in on the messages. And then my Google form right here, I track who's filled it out, what they're interested in. Are they interested in hosting for the host if the host were to join the business, and if they're planning to order. This is super helpful for party cleanup towards the end, where you have people who said they were interested in ordering. And honestly, now that we have Steve's host coaching and all the things that he has mentioned, the way he like tags people in the party and like keeps it in front of everybody that, hey, you have 2 days left, you have 1 day left to help the host out. And I love his wording on, there's 1 day left for you to help your host and get some goodies for yourself, basically. Instead of being like, only a day left to order, because then they just feel like, okay, probably not. But yeah, so I have that tracker that I keep, and then I also still print off my Google form, all the people that fill out the Google form, because if I'm ever in like a slump where I'm like, gosh, I just don't have the I can share that template with you, Laura. once I figure out how to share Google Sheet templates, I'll just ask my friend Bonnie. She's the Google pro. It shouldn't be too hard. But having all of that stuff sitting here, I'm able to just go back over it instead of being like, okay, who did I message? And sometimes I would go back and I would go to green dot people and I would click on a name and I'm like, oh my gosh, here's a person that I had talked to months ago and I didn't follow up with them because I forgot that I had talked to them. Because you guys, honestly, if we're talking to all the people we should be talking to, there's no way, unless you are Rain Man, that you are going to remember every single person you have talked to. I will be completely honest. So keeping track and having organization and doing all these things, it's not only going to help your business, it is going to help with stress. Because you guys, like, this can get stressful. There's so many things that we want to do and so many people we want to talk to, and all the things combined just gets like overwhelming sometimes, and then you just want to quit. And we don't want that, right? We don't want you guys to quit. So if you guys can be on the call, so Kristin is a very, very busy, very important person. So I had to work around her schedule. So I will actually be probably announcing it maybe Sunday or probably Sunday. It's going to be next Thursday at 3 p.m. So it's not an ideal time, but because I know some of us do have full-time jobs still and crazy kids that run around in the background, but I'm with you, Charlie. It's always my kids. But we have the mute button. We have the capability of just calling in on the phone. We have all of those capabilities. So if you guys can make it to that, I would love it. She's also going to be talking about a huge, huge goal for our entire organization next week. And it's super exciting because those of you who went to conference this year, when a team hits a national executive title, everybody who is a director on that national executive team gets to be on stage and celebrate that accomplishment. And that is what our organization is working towards for next year. And so all of us want to be on stage with Kristin when they announce her new fancy title, because she has worked her booty off and she has helped all of us get to where we are. I know I'm kind of the face behind our team, but she's literally the face behind most everything that I've learned. So I value her immensely. But yes, what else? Oh, so I wanted to talk about a kind of new idea that, as far as like templates on parties goes, and I kind of wanted to get you guys' feedback. So I was thinking about doing just themed templates, but then I'm like, themed templates, it's kind of a toss-up because you get the people who are like, well, it's just not really my style. I'm just not going to go because that theme doesn't fit my style. But with Steve's call, he had mentioned he does like day 1 baking, day 2 stoneware, day 3 this, day 4 that. And I did that actually just recently on a customer appreciation template, and I loved it, and my audience seemed to love it. You guys, it's so early for me. I have not been sleeping well. But what is your guys' feedback on that? Is that something, because I would love to be able to create some sort of like basic template for our entire team to kind of go off of, where I can be like, this day is going to be stoneware. Here's how I lay it out. Choose a product, plug it in here, so that we don't all have the same template, but we all have the idea of like a good flow of a party. Would that be helpful for you guys, as well as like helping onboard your new consultants as well? What are your thoughts?
I would say yes. Yeah.
Okay. Vicky says, that's pretty much how I do mine too. I have basic elements and plug tools, recipes individually. Okay, perfect. So I will also work on that as well. I'm not quite sure how necessarily it's going to look, just because I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll make my brain work for once. What are you guys struggling with this week or this month, or what else do you need from me this month? I would love to get some insight on things that you are like, okay, I'm overwhelmed, I need help on this, or are we still struggling to get bookings? I'm actually going to work on a post today for a booking type deal to like post and to also send messages. So I think it's like a company-wide thing. Obviously, there's some people in the business that are just like, no, I'm not struggling. And I'm like, good for you. But it can be a struggle during the summer. I, for one, am like just chomping at the bit for September because I cannot wait to share that blender. Like, I'm so excited for the new products, you guys. But keeping focused on August and trying to be still excited and using the things that home office has given us, whether it's the new products for the quick cooker. If you have a quick cooker and you got those new products, use them, you guys, because when people see you using them, like it's a shame on me. I haven't been using mine. It's probably going to be a task that I put myself to today. I'll probably go buy like a box of cake mix and I'll use that bundt pan because I've been seeing people using them and I'm like, oh my gosh, I really want to use them, but then I don't. So just use the products and showcase them, show people that you're doing them. Does anyone else have ghost host problems this month? I feel so. No, you are not the only one that has hosts that are either ghosting or rescheduling. I literally had 6 parties for last week or this week, and I am down to 2. I had to reschedule 3 and 1 canceled. So don't feel like that's just a thing for you. It's a thing everywhere. It's the end of summer. People are busy. People are getting back into school. It's just a really busy time of year. So I just want to say, like, take a deep breath because I've had to take multiple because for us, it can be frustrating because this is our income. This is how we support our families, like, especially for those of us who are doing it full time and this is our sole income. Like, it is very frustrating when we have people cancel or postpone because we're sitting there and thinking, okay, but this is my job. Like, I know you think you're too busy, but you agreed to do something for me and now it's gone. It's like gone. But try and keep those people on your schedule. As hard as it is to let that booking go for this current moment, just know that if it's a better time for them, you're probably going to get better results from them, from the party, from their guests, from everybody when it's best for everybody. So I am with you guys on that struggle bus. Trust me. But fall is coming and it is going to be amazing. But one thing that I will say about all of that is if we prepare ourselves for these downtimes, we won't be riding the struggle bus as hard. I let my personal life overwhelm me during the summer and all of the things leading up to summer and some very personal things that had happened. And I kind of let my business not be put on the back burner because obviously I'm always here and I'm working my business, but I didn't truly focus on preparing for the summertime. And so my schedule has not been where I had wanted it to be. And coming back from that lull is a lot harder than keeping up with it. So if we just remember that, like, how we felt during these times, that we will later prepare ourselves for this. So by that, like, keep your calendar as full can be. Overbook your calendar because you have to account for those cancellations, the reschedule, and the accidental things that happen or the emergencies that come up that prevent things from happening. So just, if I can instill anything in you guys, like, learn from my mistakes. Don't let your business go into a lull. Don't get too comfortable with your business because when you get comfortable, that is where it starts to kind of go downhill. And not downhill, but just the lacking of everything that you had hoped you would have at that certain moment. Does that make sense? That's not discouraging, right? Like, I'm trying to encourage you guys to like just keep working your businesses full force, because trust me, when you do get that lull, it's very hard, and it's a struggle, but we can all, I don't want to say we can all struggle together, but we can all help each other push forward and get out of that slump. Because like I said, today I'm going to work on a few things to hopefully get a few more bookings on our calendars. And yeah, and I'm really excited for Steve's host coaching. And I'm so sorry it took so long. He is so busy. And I kept like, hey, do you have that thing yet? Hey, do you have that thing yet? And so he finally just was like, I'm going to add you to my team page. You grab it. And then he basically gave me the boot. So he's like, you cannot be in my team page. But yes, so I have it and I printed it off because it took me forever to try to get it transferred from like a Google Doc to a file to all the things. And I'm like, I had to send my husband multiple links until I figured out how it was shareable. I'm like, this is not working. I need to be a little bit more tech savvy, you guys. But yes, so systems and time management are huge. If you guys don't have any systems, if you don't have any source of like time management, or you're like, I don't even know where to start, get a daily planner and just plug things in. And it can be something as silly as like from 12 to 12:30, I'm having lunch. Like, calendar it all out, because as soon as you get into like a habit of doing that, it's just going to be a habit, and you're going to be like, I don't need to write that down, because you know what? I know at this time I need to do this. So it's all just going to become habit. Just like with our parties, we know every morning or every afternoon we're sending our daily host coaching, or on this day of the party, I know I have to announce the raffle winner, or this day. Like, we don't have to write that down anymore, right, you guys? Because we remember. So doing it consistently and habitually, it will just become a habit, and it'll just be a learned thing. And then we can pass that on to our new team members. Let's see. Sorry, I'm reading the comments, you guys. Okay, I have a calendar app which helps, but need more organization. Yes, so that is one thing that I'm going to have Kristin talk about. I'm going to talk to her a little bit more about like what exactly she does that I want her to share. Because she is, like I said, she's the queen of systems and time management. Like, that girl is like, yeah, I don't even open my Messenger app until this time of day, because like, if we open our Messenger app, if we've got a ton of messages, it kind of sucks us into a rabbit hole, because we'll open a message and then it might distract us to go do something else. And so we kind of have to be very organized with our time, because if we get distracted, we're just going to get nothing done, right? So that's why sometimes I won't respond to messages right off the bat, because I'm like, oh my gosh, I know if I open this message, I'm going to get distracted and I'm not going to finish what I'm doing right here in this moment. So yes. Anything else for today? Is that helpful, knowing like, just knowing that you should have some sort of like tracker and time management systems? Like, if you guys want, message me like what kind of systems that you are struggling with, whether it's the host coaching or your daily tasks, or like when to send booking messages or when to send the recruiting messages. Like, if those are systems that you're struggling with, that you're like, I just don't know good timing on them, like, reach out, because sometimes I feel like maybe I've said it and I'm like, have I said it too much? Or maybe I haven't said it enough. Like, certain things like that, like, is super helpful to me, so that I know what I should be like maybe talking to you guys more about consistently instead of just occasionally. And maybe it should be something that I should be posting in the team page more often. So any kind of feedback from you guys is super helpful, because I just want to make sure that everybody's getting everything that they need all the time. That's amazing. So I don't know if you guys can see the chat. Charlie has 4 calendars and they all say the same thing. And she has them all throughout her house. I love that. Oh, and one in your car. That's amazing. That's goals. I need to do that. I've just got this one on my desk. Okay, well, I won't take any more of your guys' time this morning. I hope some of that was helpful. Keep track of everybody, especially everyone you've talked to about bookings, because in a couple weeks, a month, like, you want to check back in with those people, because just because they're not ready right now doesn't mean they won't be ready next month, especially because they don't know what these new products are, you guys. When they find out that we have a blender that cooks and cleans itself, they might be like, I think I might want to book that party now because I definitely want that at 60% off. So make sure you're keeping track of all the people you're talking to all the time, whether that's writing it down, putting it in a Google sheet, Google form, Google whatever. Write it down, keep it in front of you so that you can pull it back out when you need it. Okay? Okay. I think I'm getting a thumbs up from Chelsea. It's super dark on your screen. Okay, well, I will end this meeting. I'm going to have Charlie choose the code word. What's the code word? I think, did Charlie choose it last time, or was it Chelsea? It was Chelsea last time. Okay.
Since my daughter's been obsessed with my cat lately, it's gonna be cats.
Cat? Woohoo! I love that. Man, you guys are just choosing words I love. NSYNC and cat. You guys are my spirit animals. Okay, well, I will talk to you guys later. And like I said, if you guys have any insight or questions or anything like that, reach out to me. I will be busy working on quite a few things today. So have a good day.